Well, Healthcare Network now says hundreds of thousands more Maine residents have been impacted by a data breach that happened nearly 8 months ago. Covenant Health, which owns St. Mary's Health and St. Joseph Healthcare, reported IT issues in May that affected phones and documentation systems. Covenant learned a hacker gained access to its IT system and was able to access certain patient information. At the time, Covenant Health reported more than 7,800 people were affected by the data breach, including more than 4,600 Maine residents. Now, Covenant Health says 478,000 people were affected, including about 284,000 Maine residents. Covenant Health said people whose information may have been compromised should review their statements from healthcare providers and health insurance plans. If people see any services they did not receive, they should immediately contact their provider or insurance company. Covenant Health says it's offering free credit monitoring and identity theft protection services to people whose Social Security numbers may have been involved.